Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 245. I am so happy that you're here today and I hope you all are doing fantastic. We are going to be reading out of 2 Samuel chapter 6, Lamentations chapter 5, which means we are going to be finishing the book of Lamentations today. And then we'll move into Mark chapter 4, but only verses 26 through 41. And then we're going to close out the day again in Psalm 119, verses 137 through 144. So let's get on into 2 Samuel chapter 6. David again gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. David arose and went with all the people who were with him from Baal, Judah, to bring up from there God's ark, which is called by the name, even the name of Yahweh of armies, who sits above the cherubim. They set God's ark on a new cart and brought it out of Abinadab's house that was on the hill. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drove the new cart. They brought it out of Abinadab's house, which was in the hill, with God's ark, and Ahio went before the ark. David and all the house of Israel played before Yahweh with all kinds of instruments made of cypress wood, with harps, with stringed instruments, with tambourines, with castanets, and with cymbals. When they came to the threshing floor of Nacon, Uzzah reached for God's ark and took hold of it, for the cattle stumbled. Yahweh's anger burned against Uzzah, and God struck him there for his error, and he died there before God's ark. David was displeased because Yahweh had broken out against Uzzah, and he called that place Perez Uzzah to this day. David was afraid of Yahweh that day, and he said, "How could Yahweh's ark come to me?" So David would not move Yahweh's ark to be with him in David's city, but David carried it aside into Obed-Edom, the Gittite's house. Yahweh's ark remained in Obed-Edom, the Gittite's house, 3 months, and Yahweh blessed Obed-Edom and all his house. King David was told, "Yahweh has blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that belongs to him because of God's ark." So David went and brought up God's ark from the house of Obed-Edom into David's city with joy. When those who bore Yahweh's ark had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed an ox and a fattened calf. David danced before Yahweh with all his might, and David was clothed in a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up Yahweh's ark with shouting and the sound of the trumpet. As Yahweh's ark came into David's city, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out through the window and saw King David leaping and dancing before Yahweh, and she despised him in her heart. They brought in Yahweh's ark and set in its place in the middle of the tent that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahweh. When David had finished offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of Yahweh of armies. And he gave to all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, both to men and women, to everyone a portion of bread, dates, and raisins. So all the people departed, each to his own house. Then David returned to bless his household. Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, "How glorious the king of Israel was today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of his servants' maids, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovers himself." David said to Michal, "It was before Yahweh who chose me above your father and above all his house to appoint me prince over the people of Yahweh, over Israel. Therefore, I will celebrate before Yahweh. I will be yet more undignified than this, and will be worthless in my own sight. But the maids of whom you have spoken will honor me. Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child to the day of her death. I love that. There's been times where I may have worshipped in my own little bubble and not really being aware of the people around me. And people have come up to me and like, geez, Natalie, back off. I was praising. Do you mind? Mind your own business. Okay, so Lamentations chapter 5. Truth be told, I'm thankful. Here we go. Okay. Remember, Yahweh, what has come on us. Look and see our reproach. Our inheritance has been turned over to strangers, our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless, our mothers as widows. We must pay for water to drink, and our wood is sold to us. Our pursuers are on our necks. We are weary and have no rest. We have given our hands to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers sinned and are no more. We have borne their iniquities. Servants rule over us. There is no one to deliver us out of their hand. We get our bread at the peril of our lives because of the sword in the wilderness. Our skin is black like an oven because of the burning heat of famine. They ravish the women in Zion, the virgins in the cities of Judah. Princes were hanged up by their hands. Their faces, the faces of the elders were not honored. The young men carry millstones, and the children stumble under loads of wood. The elders have ceased from the gate, and the young men from their music. The joy of our heart has ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. For this our heart is faint. For these things our eyes are dim. For the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk on it. You, Yahweh, remain forever. Your throne is from generation to generation. Why do you forget us forever and forsake us for so long a time? Turn us to yourself, Yahweh, and we will be turned. Renew our days of old. But you have utterly rejected us. You are very angry against us. All right, and that concludes Lamentations, Jeremiah's Lamentations to God. All right, Mark chapter 4, verse 26 through 41. Jesus said, God's kingdom is as if a man should cast seed on the earth, and should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring up and grow, though he doesn't know how. For the earth bears fruit by itself, first the blade, then the ear, then the full grain in the ear. But when the fruit is ripe, immediately he puts in the sickle, because the harvest has come. He said, How will we liken God's kingdom, or with that parable will we illustrate it? It's like a grain of mustard seed, which, when it is sown in the earth, though it is less than all the seeds that are on the earth, yet when it is sown, grows up and becomes greater than all the herbs, and puts out great branches so that the birds of the sky can lodge under its shadow. With many such parables, he spoke the word to them, as they were able to hear it. Without a parable, he didn't speak to them, but privately to his own disciples, he explained everything. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let's go over to the other side." Leaving the multitude, they took him with them, even as he was, in the boat. Other small boats were also with him. The big wind storm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so much that the boat was already filled, and he himself in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him up and asked him, "Teacher, don't you care that we are dying?" He awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said to them, "Why are you so afraid? How is it that you have no faith?" They were greatly afraid and said to one another, "Who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him?" I love that. You know, it's all easy to believe until a incredible miracle is performed in front of your eyes, and you're like, "Wait a minute, whoa!" I wish I was there. Although I know I would be so afraid. I know I would be the worst of the worst and panicking all the time. I know myself. But man, I would have loved to have seen all those miracles. That would have been cool. I guess I'll just have to look for the ones here in my time. Psalm 119, verses 137 through 144. We're already closing this day out. Did I skip something? No? Boy, they're giving us a short day today. You are righteous, Yahweh. Your judgments are upright. You have commanded your statutes in righteousness, and they are fully trustworthy. My zeal wears me out because my enemies ignore your words. Your promises have been thoroughly tested, and your servant loves them. I am small and despised. I don't forget your precepts. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your law is truth. Trouble and anguish have taken hold of me, and your commandments are my delight. Your testimonies are righteous forever. Give me understanding that I may live. Oh, give us understanding. Give us understanding so we can see as if we're standing face to face. Give us that understanding, because we're not the smartest in the shed. Well, guys, I don't even know what to do with this. This day was so short, and I apologize again. We have another sunrise. My week is completely turned upside down, so my only time for recording is at the sunrise. So we're going to have a few more days of the sun, but what a fun day this was. Thank you so much for joining me. You want to know what's after Lamentations? Let's see what's up next. We're moving into Ezekiel. And Ezekiel is going to last forever. It's going to last until October 20th. So we're going to be sitting a while in Ezekiel. It's a good book. I suggest you come back for day 246. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.